let's go to start then, Anita, with yours because you have that unique situation. Have you?
Yeah, unique could not even be a more perfect word. So I talked to Kevin. The lawyers he was trying to find me do not exist in my area. I found that we got the original contract from the guy who was buying from the other guy. We found where the owner had died. He died apparently not in Springfield, Missouri. He died in Tempe, Arizona from unusual causes. So we have where he died, but we don't have a death certificate. So we can't send it to probate at this point. So we do have a date of death, but we don't know what day he was born. So I can't apply for a birth certificate to get a death certificate to throw it back into probate. So that's where I am right now.
Pretty. Yeah, so Ken, she has a unique situation where she can buy a house. There's a guy living in it, and it's who's living in it, but the guy who is the landlord died, and they can't find how to, trying to get the house from probate. So it's
Oh,
kind of one of the unique situations we get to sometimes navigate a little bit, try to throw a little bit of our resources, and we got a pretty good group that has a lot of experience. So we try
mm.
to solve this problem. Kevin, she mentioned, is one of my business partners. He's in Kansas City. And Anita's in Missouri, so they're kind of close. So that helps a little bit. But I don't know, it's just a unique situation that we haven't really had to deal with a lot trying to find probate because and she's having a hard time because the guy died and trying to get the death certificate so they can file the probate and she can take the property over. The guy that lives there now actually wants to sell it to her, but he has to get it. Isn't that right, Anita? That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, yeah, he'd love to sell it to me. He actually doesn't even live in the house anymore. It's actually empty at the moment.
So it's kind of like a variation of. Oh yeah, Ken, what do you think?
The guy who's living in it right now, he acquired the house.
He used to live in it. He lived in it for years and has been paying the property tax. He just recently moved out and he was going to sell it to us. But when we took it to the title company, because he was buying it rent to own, and the original owner died before he got all the payments paid, and he wasn't paying it directly to a bank, he was paying it directly to the owner. The title company threw it out.
So who actually owns who owns the title right now? The bank? Who?
There was no bank. There was no bank involved.
So is it paid off?
No, he never got it fully paid off. He was paying it directly to the owner when the owner died, and he was, I think, like 8 years into paying off a 30-year note when the owner died.
So did the owner own it totally?
Yes,
The
the
owner
owner
didn't
owned
have
it
a
totally.
mortgage.
No, did not have a mortgage on it.
Oh.
Yeah,
So, but he still does not have at this point. That was a deal between him and the
and the
landlord.
owner.
So
Yeah,
there's nothing legally saying that he owns the house.
that we have the paperwork that he and the owner signed
Uh-huh.
with
Oh,
for
okay.
the title.
Hmm. Okay.
And when you look at the county paperwork, it has both both the original owner and him on the county paperwork, so it has both their names on it. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's been trying to unravel this for a couple of months, trying to get it done so she can get the house, and it's a nice deal.
I missed the
Mm.
first part. What's the story?
Oh, so Anita's trying to. She has a house she has a guy that's been paying he doesn't live there anymore. He was paying the taxes and doing rent to own to the owner who died in Arizona. She's in Missouri. This house is in Missouri. She's trying to deal with trying to get it out of probate, but you know, the guy who was paying the taxes will sell it to her, but the guy that actually was the owner, he paid, died, and she can't find the family and stuff. It's been an ongoing thing for a couple months.
Oh, so the property's in the name. The property is still in the name of the original owner, the guy who rent
Right.
to own. Okay, so but the guy who did the rent to own should have a document.
Yes, we have that document.
Okay, so you're probably gonna need a lawyer to do this, but
Yeah.
Right?
We've been
you-
yeah.
hold on.
I know.
You might, because the document, so a rent to own is two things. It's a lease with an option to buy. Two separate contracts. Because you have the option to buy document, which the current inhabitant has, and has the first right to do that on, assuming it has not expired, because usually there's a 3-year term on that. So if that is not expired, in theory, you could buy that document from them, execute the document, and deposit the money with the probate court to give to the family when they show up. Because
Well, there is no living family. All of his family is gone.
okay, so he died. So he died in what's he died. He died basically intestate, and that money is going to go to the state. So because the money's going to go to the state's going to have to do whatever they have to do, unless they can find a distant relative or something. But you should still be able to execute that option to buy and deposit the money with the state, and then the state can do whatever the state does. That's their problem. But the owner of the option should not lose their right to option because the guy died. That option goes with the property. It's recorded on it. But the question is, has the option expired? Because usually those options are purchased within, 3 years. So that's what you got to find out, is that option still valid, or has the option expired? If the option expired, then you are probably SOL, and the state's going to sell the property at auction, but who knows? But if the option is still valid, you should be able to execute it and just deposit it with.
I know. I
state.
just sent you the. I tagged you in the group with the link.
Have you talked to a lawyer about this?
So
We
the Facebook
haven't,
group.
because honestly, right now, we don't have the money to hire one.
Well, if you don't have the money to hire one, you probably don't have the money to buy the property either.
Well, we were going to
let me try to send it to you. Let me try to send
get
it
a
to you
partner
directly
in on that, but
from there. I thought, yeah.
Well,
let me
the
try to do
partner
it.
might have the money for the lawyer.
yeah,
Does the property need rehab?
a lot of rehab.
So if it needs a lot of rehab, it's probably gonna be a heavy rehab.
Yeah, it's gonna be a total gut.
What's the purchase price?
30.
So it's 30 and an upside down rehab. You're probably gonna need to come up with probably 15 to 20% of the project cost to do it. Plus liquidity. This may not be worth your time and energy.
The ARV on it, so the total gut and all like that would be about 100, but the ARV is like 280.
Okay. Wholesale it.
All right, cool. I mean, we'll figure something out. I want to get around Robin and everybody. We'll come back to it. Let me check in with everybody.
I've got to skip out for this time. I may have to come back another day. I've had phone calls beeping in that I've got to take, guys.
Well, let's do. Yeah, let's try to. Are you available Thursday night?
Yeah, I can come back Thursday night.
Let's do that. Let's Thursday night. Let me try to talk to you. You and me directly over the next 2 days before that, and that way we can come up with a game plan on Thursday.
Okay.
want to
Yeah,
go in
tomorrow
toward
maybe
it.
Wednesday night. I'll check in with you Wednesday. Tomorrow
Okay,
night I
cool.
got another Zoom, but I'll check in with you Wednesday.
Okay, Anita, thank you. No problem. I know you're
Bye.
limited on time. Okay, cool. Let me go around real quick to the group then. Hey, Zeke, do you want to give everybody kind of your update, and then I'll go to Timmy and Sean and Bill and Doris and Ari.
I heard Zeke won the lottery and he's buying drinks for everybody and buying us all a yacht.
You know, if I ever played, I might do that, but
Well, sometimes you get mail, sometimes you don't get mail.
All right, let me take. You want me? Okay, Zeke. Yeah. Anything changed since Thursday besides
nothing
your?
changed. Nothing changed
workout-
since Thursday.
Okay, cool. Let me know if anything, if you need help with anything, and then obviously you're checking on your EMD, which is
Yeah.
good. Cool. I know Gwen's on top of that.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Zeke. Appreciate it. Hey, Doris, what's going on? Let me.
Hi, everybody.
Hey. What's
I
new?
got my first EMD
Cool.
list.
Well, that was a long time coming. So, first
Yeah.
EMD loan through Gwen. That's awesome. How much are you lending on this?
You know, it's 500, but the other one was 2,500. But I couldn't get it wired in time because I have the money in my relay account. It takes time for it to get there, you know. So I have to deal with wires. And
Cool. How long is
but-
it? How long is the loan for?
huh?
How
Oh,
long?
I think the 10th of next month.
Okay.
Something.
Hey, Doris, what kind of return you getting on that?
20%. It's not.
Okay. And that's
Yeah.
is that paid at closing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then it get wired back to my account.
Yeah, well, Simi, so that's one that's going to Gwen. That
Yeah, I
everybody's
need to
doing.
connect with Glenn because I want to actually start doing some EMD funding myself.
I might,
Cool, yeah.
I'm thinking of doing it also, but I think the way I would structure it, and this is something I think we all should do if we're gonna do EMD lending. You pay the interest up front. This way, if they don't close or you have to cancel the contract to get your money back, you already got your money. Because if they don't close, then you're not getting anything for whatever reason. So if you charge them interest up front, that means you got paid your interest. If they don't close in time, whatever, and you have to pull your money back before it goes hard, you got paid. So I don't know how they're doing it, but that's how I would do EMD.
Yeah,
Is you
and
pay the
Gwen's-
interest up front.
Well, Gwen's got a good process so far. I'm not sure exactly how she does it. Zeke's done 6 deals with her and hasn't had a problem. So I know Ginger's done 6, and Bill Johnson's he's on now, so he's working on getting his.
I've done like 4.
Yeah. So
Hey,
I don't know
Zeke.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Zeke, does the does the return percentage vary? Or is it fixed in every deal?
Fixed.
Fixed?
Yeah, and-
Everyone I've done has been 20%.
Okay.
She did offer one time. It was only like 15%. I think Ginger got that one, but
You can actually set it at your own, I think, as long as it's obviously agreeable to the borrower. Because obviously, like the Gators are doing much higher. But yeah, you talk to Gwen about that because she does actually in her intake form, she does ask you what you want to try, and then she'll try to match it up. So if like people are looking, it depends. Right now, the only complaint we've had is that we need more deals, and I'm trying to tell everybody if you see people looking for EMD out there, get them to me or get them to Gwen. I'll get the intake form. I can get you guys all the intake form as well. We just need more deals because we got, so many, everybody's been doing it. It's loving it. It's just, we need more deals.
Yeah.
We need to go up there. And I know Gwen just got approved by Jim Ingersoll to start posting in his group, and he's got 4,000 people in his group. So that's going to be good. I'm kind of pushing. I'm going in there posting about Gwen's too, trying to get some of the people from Jim's group, and his group's pretty good. His group's pretty solid as far as people. They don't have too much of the. Yeah.
I have a
also-
question. Hey Zeke,
I al-
you've done deals that paid out, right? You said you've done 5 that paid out.
yes.
How many have you done that just kind of fell through?
There was one.
Just the one?
Yeah, and
That's
it
pretty
wasn't really even a fall through. It was, I sent them the money. They couldn't get the tenant out of the place in time, so they sent it back to me.
It still fall through, but yeah, but you came off the money for at least a short time.
Yeah,
Now, would
Yeah.
do you think it was right that you didn't actually have any return on that money? Because you laid out some money for at least a small amount of time. Do you think it's right that you didn't get a return? It wasn't their fault I still call that falling through, but are you happy with that you just didn't get a return, that you tried and it just didn't work out?
I wasn't at the time because I thought they had my money damn near the same amount of time
Right.
as if I would have got a return. But some you lose and some you gain.
Yeah, but you're putting skin in the game. I agree with Ari. We play a skin in the game, game.
Right.
That's what it's all about. So I think I kind of agree with Ari that if you want my EMD money, shoot me the interest up front, and then if it falls through, get me my money back. If it works, it works.
I hate to say this, Sean, but I think you're a really smart person.
Don't tell anybody.
No, and I agree, and I don't know exactly how
But
Gwen.
I have another take on this. Not only do I want my interest up front, but if you don't bring the lending and have it set up to go, I have the option of letting the money go hard and taking the deal. If I like that deal enough and you can't bring your financing in time and that money's going to go hard, I get the option of either letting it go hard and taking the deal. I might be willing to JV with you, but that's my choice at that point. Or I take my money back and cancel out the contract. That's how I would structure these EMD loans. Is we want our interest up front, which means I'm going to wire you the money minus the interest payment. You're going to put the interest payment into the escrow account, and if you don't close, I have a choice. I can take that whole escrow back, or I can take the deal and do it myself.
I think that's valid, but to Nate's point, anybody that's offering EMD gets to set their own terms, and Gwen is
Correct.
really good about helping everybody through that. And then it becomes, have you ever watched Trucker Wars? That everybody that has something to contribute gets to set their own terms. And
Absolutely. But if I was doing it, I would want my interest up front, and I'm going to start doing it. I think I'm going to start offering to do it, but I think I want my interest up front because I don't want to have what happened to Zeke happen to me. I want my, your money was out. You should get paid on it.
And that's like the best worst case scenario, basically, if they send the money back. But I'm going to try to. Gwen was supposed to be on last week. I'm going to reach out to her and try to get her on Thursday night because I know she's more available on Thursdays than she is on Mondays. That way she can answer. I'll send it. Obviously, she'll have this sim, so I'll tell her to watch this. Because I think that's the only complaint. I mean, you guys, people who've gone through Gwen have had no problems other than I think you had one problem with like a paper check or something they tried to issue, but they reissued it. The title company, was that what? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
not the.
it wasn't a big deal. It was just I wired them the money, and then they wrote a paper check, and then they caught the paper check before they sent it and said, well, now wait a minute, this isn't supposed to be paper, this is supposed to be
deposit.
Wire.
Yeah.
So they pulled the paper check back, and then they had to do the wire. So it really was about the same amount of time. It was a couple of days later is all.
See, here's the thing I really wonder about with this is if they don't have, let's say, $1,000 for EMD, how are they getting financing on the property? Because lenders even if you get 100% financing, which I do a lot of, you still have to show liquidity to do that. And if you can't show the liquidity for the loan, which is considerably more than $1,000 of EMD money or $500 of EMD, how are they getting these properties financed and closing on them? I wonder.
Because most of these deals are wholesalers that are using the EMD to basically leverage.
Okay, they're using it for wholesaling. Okay.
Yeah, because they're doing like 10 or 12 of these, at a time sometimes. So I don't think I don't know. I mean, because obviously you guys see the paperwork. And I have copies of of 3 separate Gator contracts on there. Theirs is a whole different mess. I mean, we've looked at it. I spent some depth and I think Jeff's going to be on next week and he's going to talk about how we're attacking, trying to come up with what we can do to match the Gators a little bit without being jerks. We've got some people, obviously Jackson Pierce. You guys know I do Jackson's podcast. last week. He's on our group. He should be on this. He's also he's in the military. He's a company commander, so he's a captain. So he's got a day job. It's kind of important. But I'm gonna basically make sure we have Jeff Shikoki. He's on our group. He's working with Jeff Watson and Jim Ingersoll. So I think these are wholesalers. I mean, because that was my question when we got back into EMD. Now, Gwen had this didn't happen in our group. She does have one of her funders on Gap, because most of the people doing Gap are basically not even in our group and that work with her. And one guy's down like 200 grand. So Gwen's like, I'm not doing Gap right now. We'll just do double closes. And so it's obviously wholesalers. So that's what we say. We haven't had any problems in our group. We haven't had any problems with EMD. The only thing is we need more deals, and I'm trying to get more deals, and I'm trying to blow it up as well and try to direct a lot more to us. Because I'd like to do it as well, but I'm waiting for you guys all to get 5, 6, 10 deals before I start on mine. So that's kind of just, I don't know. Timmy, what do you think? Because you've kind of timed it a little bit. You're out there a lot as a lender, so.
Yeah, I mean, I see a good bit of it. Mostly Gap versus EMD.
Yeah.
I thought about doing some Gap myself, but I think it's a little more risky.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, we don't need the need for Gap is coming down. I have like a bunch of 100% financing programs at this point that, well, I guess you still need the Gap lenders if you have like no cash reserves or anything like that. You can't show the liquidity and everything like that. You're going to need a Gap lender to show the liquidity. But I mean, I'm your average $150,000 loan, you can some of my programs you can close with no money at the table, and some of them you have to bring like the closing cost, so it's costing you like 10 grand. So there's a lot of lenders out there, and there's more and more single 100%ers coming on board. I'm talking to new people every day that are doing it, and I am working with somebody. We're working on an in-house 100 program that I'll have in-house with a buddy of mine. And I mean, we're gonna have lending criteria. We're not gonna just lend it to anybody, but the people, if you have decent credit and some experience, we'll lend you 100%. If you don't, then you need to go. Then we'll leverage it, but or we'll require you to partner with somebody, which is what I think is the best way to do it. Is we're going to have our experienced people, and we'll be happy to, you'll split the deal with them 50-50, and they'll mentor you and walk you through your first few deals, so you learn how to do it properly. And then once you've got 4 deals or under your belt, then we'll lend you at 100% or something like that. And that's an opportunity for our experienced people to also, make some money.
Yeah, we got other, we got a lot of, life changing. We also got, Lone Star, which is awesome. They're really good at about 8 to 10 states. And they're 100% just on fix and flips. And obviously, Simi's got his programs. You've got yours, Ari. Willie and Cameron got the Midwest Monster program. That thing's kicking ass. So yeah, let me finish the round robin real quick. Let me get to Sean and Bill, and then I'll do the announcement about reindeer, and then we'll open it up again, because I know this is a great conversation. I just want to check in. Sean, what's going on with you? Because you had to do closed captioning on Thursday.
Yeah, I don't know what it was doing. I mean, I always, when I try it on my computer, I don't know. I'm technology savage. Yeah, I don't know. Challenged. When I do it on my phone, it always works. So I don't know what the deal is. So I just do it on my phone. But yeah, technology gets me every time. Normally it's the phones that get me.
So how's those houses you got with Cameron? Are they?
So we have 3 with Cameron. 2 of them are still being worked on. One of them we're working to refinance it to the long term. So the one that I guess it's taken us 2 months now, 2.5 months to do the Indianapolis, and now it's done. And we're putting a renter in it and are converting it to long term. And Cameron works through Cameron's not doing the financing. He works through Kiavi, and Kiavi he's using a broker to work the Kiavi loans. So Cameron doesn't get credit for any of I mean, he's brilliant for coming up with the concept, but
Yeah, well,
he doesn't have any involvement in the refinance, right?
yeah. No, I mean it's great. We know that. I mean that's awesome though. Still a great program. I know Jody's in it. We got a few other people in it now. So you guys just have more.
So
You
with the
guys.
monitor, so this house as an example, we could sell this house. Cameron doesn't have any sort of, you're not obligated to make it into a portfolio. That's his goal, is that he wants it to be a whole property and he wants, to build a big portfolio, but you're not obligated to convert it into long-term, and you're not obligated to use the lenders that he's lined up. So if Ari had a better terms on a long-term refinance, then, we, so Pippa and I are shopping around to make
So
sure
send it to me.
that.
Send it to me too. Let's see who gets the best rate.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
a pretty good deal, yeah.
Well, I think it's good for entry. His program's really good for entry. If obviously, because I haven't gone that far, I'm trying to like not be involved so much because otherwise my mind's going. I've got enough working on reindeer. trying to
Well,
get
and
all this-
talking about Gap, so
yeah,
Cameron carries the Gap, right?
Yeah.
And that's where Cameron is really,
Right.
where his program is brilliant. That he really, as far as somebody now, it's absolutely not a no money, you definitely have to, pay for the appraisal fees, and Pippa and I have been out of pocket for all of the deals. And then scopes of work are always a thing. Cameron doesn't
Well-
cover, overages or scenes.
Well, the other issues, Sean, is if I remember when I was looking at the program, they give you money. They give you money at closing. They
No,
have a whole.
not in every case. Some cases.
Okay.
they give you, but they have to wait, and it is through Cameron's company.
Yeah.
They have to wait until everything is recorded in each individual county's recording office before they can release. And at one point it was $10,000. Now it's $5,000 that they give you to cover holding costs. But it's certainly not immediate. It's not an immediate thing.
Well,
It's
the other
still-
issue is you may be upside down in the loan. That's what I'm wondering is, are you upside down in the numbers for the refi? Will you be above 80% ARV?
So when we refi, the way he has it set up is that his Gap loan is a 5-year loan
Right.
with the option of extensions. So he's going to refinance that gap. That
Right.
that even with the value add, it's not, we don't have to refinance 100%. We only have to refinance
Right.
less the gap.
Right, less the gap. But again, so by the time you're done, how much equity do you have in it? None, essentially. And
Very
at what point do you start to have enough equity that you can actually, so I don't even think you can sell it for a profit because of all that gap.
We would not be able to sell it for a profit at this point. No.
Right.
No.
Where it is cash flowing, so and in Indianapolis, that is an appreciation market.
Oh yeah, very much so.
But no, we would not be able to sell it for profit at this point. And then the refinance, the beautiful thing about the Gap, and again, I'm an advocate of Gap. I think that if you can get it, it's a good thing. Cameron is carrying that Gap that allows the refinance to qualify without any money out of pocket.
And I think
Right.
it's
You may be trapped though with his lenders, and I'll tell you why. Not all lenders are going to allow a gap
Right.
on the refi, and part of it has to do with they want money, skin in the game. So
Right.
if you have no skin in the game, there's a lot of lenders who just on principle they're like, you have no skin in the game, we're not lending you money. Period. End of story. Full stop.
I think that's a fair concept. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they may have a deal with Kiavi that no one else can get, is because they made this deal and they're like either informally or formally or whatever guaranteeing the loan.
and I think also like Jody just got hers and she just refinanced hers. And I think she's supposed to be at like 1,500 a month cash flow, which is pretty decent. I don't know. So what's the other thing? What's your flips going on, Sean? You still got your other flips with Pippa?
Oh yeah. We have a couple in Texas. And then I'm working on a couple other things, even outside of that.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Good.
Texas is one of my 100% states, man. I can get you 100% funding in Texas.
I hate Texas.
He
Yeah,
just
but
did
you'll
that
take
one
their
of murder.
money.
He
But
did
take
that one
their
of
money.
murder.
I don't care.
Pippa loves Texas, but it is so. We've already been ripped off like 5 times on 2 properties in Texas, and it's just, it's madness working, remote, and Pippa doesn't, as involved as Pippa is, I'm the one that has to deal with all of the, the madness of all of the trying to figure out contractors. And, we have a contractor now that wants 80% upfront in order to do any of the rehab. I'm not giving you 80%. I've never met you. And so, it's kind of ridiculous. San Antonio is just it's just you're just waiting to get ripped off. If you let your guard down for even a second, they're going to rip you off.
Look at those deals,
80%
though.
up front.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Look at-
had a security door stolen off of the front of a security door stolen off the front of the property.
So what about those ones that Ari showed you us on North Carolina? Because North Carolina, that was a pretty nice area around Charlotte.
I'm
think-
a once bitten, twice shy guy. I don't know that market. I don't know if it's any better or worse.
Well, I'm just telling to everybody because those look like some pretty good deals, man.
If I can't drive to my property, then I'm
All right, what state are you? What
He's in-
state are you in?
Ohio.
Ohio, great. Well, I can do 100% in Ohio. So next time I get that bug, or somebody convinces me to do it, I'll go do that for you in Ohio. You tell me the town in Ohio, I'll go find you 5 deals right now.
I agree that they're here. Yeah, they're all over the place. They're in Ohio.
Let's do Ohio on Thursday night then. Let's do
And
Ohio.
And my
Maybe
contractors in Ohio are amazing.
you're what?
My contractors, my crew here in Ohio is amazing.
Awesome. So I can do some remote flips in Ohio?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah, my guy he just rocks it out. He's just brilliant.
All right, cool. Let me bring up Bill, get his update, and then I'll give you guys the reindeer update, and then we'll open it back up. Bill, what's going on? How's your? Glad I was able to get you on.
I know. Like I said, I'm very stupid when it comes to computer stuff. Ari can contest to that now.
Hey, I was gonna ask everybody real quick.
Throw
before
me
Bill
under
starts.
the bus.
Also, when I get to reindeer, everybody let me know if you guys still need to talk. Anybody still needs to talk to Danny about Agents Gather and how to use it. But yeah, go ahead, Bill. What's your update? Since Thursday?
Everything's going good. I'm doing EMD. Like I said, I've got 4 out. One's closed today, and it's going to be coming into my account tomorrow morning. So
Cool. Good news.
I've got I think 10,000 out right now. EMD. So
Is that all through Gwen?
yeah.
Good.
So
Cool. That's good news. And then you hooked up with Ari, obviously. See, that's good.
Let's
yeah,
keep it
and then I
mean,
called.
Bill's really not my type.
But don't worry, it's mutual.
All right, guys. Well, that's a great update. So let me kind of give you guys. Here's the thing. If you guys saw my post today, I'm gonna go ahead and give Danny we're gonna go ahead and activate reindeer on November 12th. That gives me enough time in the next to get those rest of those initial videos done and edited for the day after Veterans Day. Everybody that's associate will have literally through December to do migration. We'll start taking subscriptions the first week in December from those outside the group. That way, you guys got a couple weeks around the Thanksgiving because I don't think we're not going to probably get a lot of people subscription wise in Thanksgiving. Obviously, we're not doing any Zooms on Monday the 11th, and we're not doing Zooms the Thanksgiving week. So I'm not going to do one on Veterans Day. Not going to do those Monday and Thursday of Thanksgiving week. But so on November 12th, we'll actually, and then it'll go live. There'll be the button. We'll have a system where you guys basically will get the like the code or whatever to go in and get the free account because obviously your guys are part of your membership already. So you will get the activation, and then there won't be as much there. Just set up the account. It's going to look just like Agents Gather. You're already there. You're going to be able to figure it out. And then, like I said, I'll put those welcoming videos. There'll be disclaimers for everybody new. You guys won't have to worry about it, but anybody that's a subscriber will have to do some disclaimers. We've been talking about it, like, you know, people have to recognize, they have to realize there's risk in real estate, things like that, those kind of disclaimers. That's what I've been working on the last couple of weeks with an attorney. I could have got it done fast if I paid the attorney, but I had one that owed me some favors. So you know how that goes. They kind of take a little bit more time than if you pay them where they got a deadline. But I got them all done and I'm doing the videos. So November 12th is going to be the activation day. You guys can then go migrate, get your account set up, and then subscriptions will start. Once we have 100 subscribers, we'll kick in your revenue share. And that first revenue share, I did bump it up for, I know, Timmy, you haven't been on in a couple of weeks. I know a couple other people. I did bump it to 35 from $30 per prescription per month. We'll go to the pool. So at 100, it's $3,500 with 125 people. You know, that's not that much, maybe $30. But when we get to 500, 1,000, you guys see the math where it goes from there. My goal is to get everybody back to $400, to get everybody to $400 first, and that way everybody's $1 more than the $3.99 that they joined to get in. So it's going to be active, and then just keep in mind, it's going to be a little slower coming out first. I'll hit momentum probably in January. In November and December, I'm going to be slow at putting the videos and the content. You guys have full access. We're keeping this group. We're keeping these Zooms. We got the Facebook groups. Everything can be done in manual mode. Most everybody in the group already knows how to do everything in the Facebook group. And then that way, it's going to be a little bit of a slow roll because, you know, I have the ability to put 150 documents up. About 30, 35 are going to be in that phase 3 legal center. I've already talked to the attorneys. We won't talk about that for a little while, but you guys have access to the Facebook group to download. You guys know how to use all those documents, but when we have a lot of subscribers come in, they're going to have to go through the legal center when lawyers are there. And that's the reason is the lawyers are going to be paid. So as you guys know, I've talked about subscribers, which you guys are obviously in for life. But subscribers will start at $99 a month. If they join at $99, they're locked in for life. And it's going to be like, if they join in phase 2, which is when we add communities and groups, $149, then it goes to $199. That phase increase of $50 will go to pay the guides. So you guys have your revenue share as associates. If you want to be a guide, like basically you're the fix and flip guy or whatever, doing like running through, doing your own videos, doing your own stuff, you'll get compensation out of that second increase of the $50. The lawyers will get paid out of that $50, the third one, phase 3. And I've talked to 5 or 6 attorneys who are going to be on there so people will actually be able to get a little bit of legal help. And then all those legal form LOIs, contracts, things like that are legal. We're going to try to make sure we have everything for track and California and all the different states that have different requirements. Phase 4 and phase 5 it's going to be a little bit harder to explain what we're going to be doing, some AI, lead generation, things like that. Some of the stuff that we were doing with our group that, you know, Cameron and Ari and Matt Moreland and all them were part of. So we're going to be doing some stuff. Eventually, hopefully we'll do our own capital raise and have some money internally to lend out as well.
Nate,
Yeah.
Nate, I got a question, and maybe, I don't know. I'm going to throw it out there. It might be a question for offline, and if it is, then we'll talk about it offline. But so everyone at this point is in the group is revenue sharing, but there's a lot of folks in this group who really don't have a lot of experience, and they're learning. They're not really teaching, contributing, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, to me, it seems a little weird that everybody at this point is revenue sharing, whereas, you know, some of us are really going to be doing a lot more teaching and a lot more mentoring. And some of us paid a lot more than $3.99 to get in the group because we came in, you know, as PMA. So
and we'll address the PMA. Yeah, and I'll address the PMA stuff with the PMA people. But on the second phase, everybody on that $50 increase will get money out of that who are teaching. So it's only going to be people that are teaching are going to get that. The first one is only 125. There's 154 people in the group. Keep in mind, you can have a spouse in it. So if there's a husband and wife, we're only paying one. We're not paying both.
Right. Okay.
And then that's why there's 154 people. And then obviously there's so that second group, that second 50, there'll be another set of revenue that'll just go to people that are like teaching or being what I call guides.
Okay.
You know, so
Gotcha.
those
That
people will
makes
get,
sense.
yeah. And then
That
same with
makes
the
sense.
lawyers. Same with the lawyers. They'll get compensated. As far as PMA goes, we'll come up with a plan with you and Matt, Cameron, Anthony,
Right.
Angel. All those guys, Jesse.
So that'll be a totally different program on itself.
Yeah, that's something else that we're working on still.
Okay. No, that's
So-
cool. That answers my question. I was just curious how it's getting structured. So that's cool.
So, and I'm worried about 2 and 3 because Danny didn't want me to start going out and telling people about phase 4 and 5. But phase 2, I'm talking to lawyers, guys. Everybody has heard me say I want to have lawyers that basically are going to do their own videos. I'm going to do like the intro video. This is phase 3. This is the legal center. So imagine being the first group that actually is like a legal Zoom for real estate investors, where you guys need an LOI. You can go download it. Now you got the video, and maybe it's Jillian, or maybe it's Meryl, or maybe it's.
I have a lawyer to connect you with that would love that to do.
Well,
be
you're
involved
talking
in that.
about you're talking about Gene, though, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have someone else altogether, totally different. That they'll help with all the asset protection and corporate
yeah.
structuring and all
So
that
we'll have
stuff.
that. Yeah. So we'll have an asset guy. We're gonna have a tax guy. We'll have a we're gonna have a
My
securities
asset
person.
guy is a tax guy. My
I know.
asset guy is a tax attorney.
So yeah, we'll have all that, and then we got, like I said, I've already reached out. We've already got Paul in the group. Paul Vincent. We'll have his brother. We'll have Jillian. We'll have Meryl. We'll have Gene. I just sent an email to Gene last week. Possibly, and then you guys know Jillian was Grant Cardone. She is Grant Cardone's securities attorney, even though she's retired. Literally in her late 40s as a security attorney. She and her husband moved to Puerto Rico. But Jillian's going to be in the group, and she's still doing all of Grant's stuff, because obviously Grant Cardone's doing stuff on a huge level, and you guys go see his filings or not. He's not doing 506 E's, put it that way. He's doing a lot more of the more sophisticated SEC requirement stuff. So yeah, that's going to be phase 3. So when you guys go in and you can watch a video by somebody telling you how to do a document, and here's Texas, here's how to do this. You have an attorney telling you that, and then hopefully we'll be able to generate enough money. So like I said, the goal is to have 10,000 subscribers in 5 years. By the time when I wake up on January 1st, 2030, if that happens, then you guys think there's 30. At that point, there's $350,000 a month going to 125 people. Because you guys are still getting based off of that first set, not 35 in that first. You guys are getting paid at the first one, the $99. The guides can then double dip. So if you're a guide and an associate, think about that. You get another, 1,000, whatever. Think about then the lawyers getting paid. The rest of it's going to go basically to AI, lead generation, things like that, and also doing like we talked about a little bit with some money, trying to raise some capital to do help out with some deals. That's kind of the thing, but phase 4 and phase 5 won't be until 2026, 2027. Right now we have enough phase 1, 2, and 3. And they'll overlap. Phase 1 and phase 2 will overlap. Phase 2 and 3 will overlap. And then by the end of 2025, we'll have all 3 phases up. So like I said, I have the ability, and so Ken, this is your first time here. Most of these guys have heard this a few times ad nauseum. I've got enough content to do 500 videos, and they're going to be text to voice, and they're going to be there's enough to do like 5 to 7 minute videos, no longer than 10 minutes, because the whole thought process is people can absorb like 5 or 6 videos. They can go and jump, they can go watch fix and flips, they can go buy and holds. At first though, I'm going to concentrate on fix and flips, buy and hold, helping people get their business set up, those kind of videos, and as well as helping learning about the lending process, what they need to do to get with RE or get to Life Changing or get with Simi on qualifications, going through the lending process. So those are going to be what we're going to focus on first, and we'll add in multifamily. The idea behind phase 2 is then, let's say Doris wants to be, she wants multifamily. She'd be perfect to be the community leader who's like a moderator for that group. And then let's say somebody comes in who's really good at multifamily, maybe 2 or 3 people, those people would be the guides for multifamily. So I'm also telling people, if you're not able to do something now, but you want to do something in the future, be the community leader of that community, because then you'll get to work with those guides. And I'm using the community college and trade school model of learning, having people that are out there really doing it. We don't want mentors. We don't want people trying to be coaches or gurus. It's really peer to peer, and you do as much as you want. Everybody's going to get paid. We're going to have 2 levels for the guides. We're going to have the level where everybody's going to get a little bit, and then the people that are really popular, that are really able to build up groups and putting more time in it, will get a second part of the that $50 increase. So it's a pretty good system that we've come up with. Like I said, November 12th, will activate. You guys will have migration for like, and I don't know if everybody's gonna go over. Quite frankly, it's voluntary. People have to go get Agents Gather. We're asking people to also do a couple posts on Agents Gather every month, just to help. It helps you, helps Danny. That's kind of Danny's, deal because he charges $179 for lifetime on Agents Gather to people, or $100 a year, or $20 a month. So his thing is, people are in it right now. If the account is dead, meaning somebody's just got an account there, it actually helps. It brings down the results from Google for everybody. So I've posted like 3 blogs this week, and I use ChatGPT, and I just go make the changes Danny told me to make. Change the headline, change the conclusion. I throw in the hashtags. I throw in a couple pictures, things like that. Then it gets picked up as Google, and doesn't get picked up like that it's AI. So I post stuff also that I have a lot of stuff. Willie, I don't know, Willie hasn't been on a while, but Willie could tell you how much stuff I've sent him as a private money broker, like for his ads and stuff. But I've got a whole library that you guys, since I can't put it all into the Facebook group. There's no way. You guys have already seen what I get compliments, man. You got a lot of stuff there. Well, you don't know, that's only about a third in some areas, or even a quarter of what I've got. When you guys hear about like my first partner back in 2017-18, Victor passed away in 2018. He sent me 11 thumb drives and a lot of analyzers, calculators. Because this was even before I started working with Kevin. I've actually known Jesse longer than Kevin. So we have a lot of analyzers, calculators, a lot of different contract forms and stuff. So you guys are in the group now. You can still use it in the manual mode. Obviously, this group is never going to go away. Now, it may get to the point where if we go to like 1 day a week, but you guys will have a long time, a lot of notice about that if we ever do that. That's just because at the point where we get so busy, we get 1,000 people, 2,000 people. We're not going to know everybody like we do now. Everybody here knows each. I mean, there's some people that 2025 that probably don't come on as much, but I talk to just about everybody in the group. There's only a few people that I seem to struggle sometimes to get a hold of right away. Usually after 2 or 3 times, they'll get a hold of me. Because some people come in there, they're just trying to do one thing, and then they come in, they find success, and then it's like, the guy with the glamping thing, his company got funded, and they're building their glamping, so he probably won't be on as much. Like I said, there's some people in the group that probably won't migrate. That it doesn't benefit because it's capped at 125. Let's say 110 people migrate and join Reindeer. You get 110 people are splitting that. We're never gonna add more people after there'll be a cutoff. So we'll say like 90 days out or 60 days out, there'll be a cutoff and say at this point, because you guys already paid for it, so it's not like you don't, I'll tell people if there's if you got a delay or some reason, then well, let me know and then I won't cap you, but that's gonna came out wrong. I won't cap. Sounded like a mobster. I won't cap you. But no, that's kind of what's going to happen with this. So everybody that's in right now is awesome. I mean, we've only got one more person that needs to upgrade, and everybody had till December. So to upgrade. So we got everybody that came in upgraded. So we're really, really good. I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna give Danny the go ahead. I'm basically giving him the money to run ads for Reindeer. So and then he's taking his cut from it, and he's handling the payment processing. At 100 subscribers, my friend Paul will come in. You guys will meet Paul. He'll set everybody up with, once we get 100 subscribers, he'll set everybody up with getting your, might be through some kind of Square payroll or something. You'll get a monthly, every month, everybody in Redford and Share will get will get equal. It's when you guys do over and above, if you want to be a guide, then you can double dip or triple, whatever you do, you can get more money.
Hey, Nate,
Yeah.
to change the topic, because we keep on talking about this. So we were talking about the ethics committee, but 2, we should really put together a conference committee to plan a conference out for like a year or year and a half from now. And this way we can actually get together in person, make everyone wear masks, of course. But we could have some live stuff going on and get some, then if we have 100 people in the room, we definitely can get some big names in and be like, hey, here's an opportunity to hawk their stuff at people.
Well, there'll also be, if we're going to do anything, there's going to be the platinum, people are going to pay a little bit of money if they're not in the group. everybody in the group will get like, because I said, you know, those kind of
No,
things.
no,
take time.
of
Yeah.
course, everyone is. But I'm just saying
But-
we should start putting together something to
Well,
do a
the
get
ethics
together.
committee is something we can do right now. We can start putting that together. And I'm not going to be on it. So we talked about this, Ari and I talked about, plus I talked to Kevin about it, is that there'll be a committee, maybe 5 or 6 people, maybe more, who knows. But basically just as if there's problems with somebody in the group, the ethics committee will kind of meet, discuss it, and then basically bring a recommendation to Kevin, Jesse and I. And then we'll
So,
that way we're
right.
kind of out of it, you know.
no, I know exactly what you're, so it's like 2 levels. I'm happy to run the ethics committee. Obviously, I'm gonna recuse myself because I have an issue
One.
right now, but I'm happy to spearhead that and put that together. If if you'll give me the nod, I'll put the word out and I'll start putting that committee
Yeah,
together.
go ahead and put it together, guys. Anybody wants to be on it, contact Ari. It's just gonna be a committee, so because obviously, guys, we know everybody in the group now. We start getting subscribers, we don't know people coming. They have to do a disclaimer. They're gonna be like a check down thing, like, and then kind of digital signature when everybody subscribes. And then basically, if there's a problem, something gets reported back, then the ethics committee can review all this stuff, and then bring a recommendation to us.
We're also gonna set some basic guidelines and rules for, well, of acceptable conduct and things that, responsible lending, things like that. We're not doing the Gator thing. We're not, we don't want to see people. So, contrary to popular belief, lenders don't want to foreclose on people's property. It's really their last resort unless they're a scumbag lender to start with. We
Lenders
don't want
put a lot of money into foreclosure prevention within internal
exactly.
foreclosure prevention, yes.
I mean, what I tell people all the time is if a lender tells you not to do a deal, you probably want to listen to that lender because they sit there all day long looking at deals. And if they tell you there's no deal here, there's probably no deal. I learned that the first time I went to flip a house. I went to a guy and he said, look, I told him everything. He said, look, I don't think you should do this deal. I don't think you should put your 401k on the line to do this. I don't think this is a good deal for you to do. I'll do the deal. Here's the terms. Because if I don't do it, someone else will do it. But I don't think you should do it. I think the smartest thing for you to do is just wait. And I took their advice and I didn't do the deal. And I think that's the kind of people we want in our group who are not going to set someone up to failure. They're not going to lend people money who are going to end up getting foreclosed or losing the deal on. Like, that's not what we want to be about. We want to be, if you're involved in Reindeer, if you come to us, you're going to succeed. You don't want to
like picking apart deals, Ari. I of all of the people that I appreciate helping me with successful deals, I very much appreciate the people who told me don't get into the bad deals.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell my clients this all the time. The best deal you ever do is going to be the deal you didn't do.
Right.
So, I mean, I told you that, Zeke, haven't I? And so that's where, that's kind of where my brain is on the ethics. Is we want to have some guidelines and a code of conduct for the people in our group. And then, and obviously if you violate the code of conduct, we'll take a look at it and then we'll make a recommendation. I mean, 9 out of 10 times people making a mistake, small things, it's going to be, hey, here's the mistake. Don't do this again. If somebody's doing something really scumbaggy, then there's going to hopefully be some more serious consequences at that point because we don't want that kind of thing associated with our group. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Keep in mind that there are a lot of people in our group will still be doing a lot of deals outside of our group. So we also got to address that if they come across people, then it becomes an issue sometimes if they bring an issue to the group, then you guys come up with a recommendation on how we handle it. Cause obviously we don't want to go out too much outside the group and, that it,
Right, but
yeah.
if you're affiliated with our group, we expect you to have a certain set of ethics. You can't do honest lending in our group and then go do gator lending
Well, I'm not.
outside the group.
Well, I'm
If
not.
your name's associated with our group, we expect you to have a certain set of morals and a certain moral compass. And if you don't have that moral compass, we don't really need you in the group.
Okay, I
That's
think
just my feeling.
you kind of misunderstood me. I'm thinking like people are still going to be doing deals because, like, I am going. So initially, this is the difference between publisher and platform. I'm putting all these videos and all this content I have up. Once it's up, I'm going to platform, basically because it's trying to do. It's like Facebook and Twitter. Like, if somebody does something on Twitter, no, Elon's not responsible for it. If somebody does something, if they have a committee that they have the people to take care of it. Trying to be a publisher versus a platform. We have people that do deals. We want people honest, but obviously, we're talking about people that are our deals. They're honest if they're in a group, but somebody that might be doing deals outside the group, and somebody outside the group is dishonest with them. Then there's a different procedure.
Right.
Yeah, but
No,
just
for
keep in mind.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, it's
Nate, I
yeah.
think you got to check on the publisher platform issue because if you make the video, it doesn't matter if you're a publisher or
And
platform, you're responsible for your video.
I'm already, and that's what I just tried to say. The publisher, initially, when I put all this content up there, there's a point where I'm not going to be putting anything up
Right.
beyond
Yeah.
like checking in. Hey, I'm still here because I don't want to be the guy that checks out like half these
Right.
guys do. But I've had this discussion with Danny. I've had this discussion with lawyers, Paul Vincent, how to be a because I have to put it up there because I got all the content that everybody wants. Once I've got all it up there, I've got these videos. Probably by the end of 2025, I'm going to pretty much be a platform at that point. If you guys are the
Well-
Facebook group and stuff, is we're still going to keep going.
Just publish, but Nate, just publish it through an LLC.
Well, that's
and
what I'm
then-
doing. That's why I've
Yeah,
been.
and the LLC to, get an extra, another, not through Reindeer, use, Joe Blow LLC that
That's already
owns
what I've been doing.
nothing. Yeah, that
Yep.
owns nothing. Let them come sue, Joe Blow LLC. There's nothing to be had. Good luck.
Exactly, and that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I've been doing in this month of October, getting all that stuff taken care of. Because I wanted to have it up in October, but now I'm just saying I'm going to do it the day after Veterans Day. November 12th is going to be the first day it goes live, and I'll put the videos up. It'll take me most of 2025 to get all the videos up. There's going to be like 400 or 500 of them, and then basically the communities will break down. The communities there'll be a fix and flip community. There's going to be a buy and hold for a single family. So the single family may initially be together because everybody's doing kind of the same things. There's going to be multifamily. There's going to be like different communities. The three groups we're going to have that are going to be run, that are going to be started at least by us, are going to be your first deal. The group everyone wants to get kicked out of because as soon as somebody has their very first deal ever, they get kicked out and they have to go to another group. It's just basically, and I look for people that are really willing to work and partner in JV with new people. And then those can be the guides, and you'll eventually get compensated a little bit for that as well. Obviously, get some deals as well brought your way because a lot of new people will need people to lend to, partner with, all that. They'll also be the private, Ari, you might remember us talking about private money boardroom a few years ago. That will be for people who can do 7, 8, 9-figure deals. We've got a few in the group. We got like Dave and a few other people that are able to do that. Same, I'm sure some people, people that can do some significant large deals that can be in that group. And that is an exclusive one where you almost have to be ready and be accepted. And that group will have its own kind of like entry, and then obviously we're gonna have a group that's gonna be like for people who, have had problems. They've been, I'm looking to have a little bit of a group community where people have been kind of screwed over by other people, and I want to bring them in and give them a second chance to meet our people.
I think one of the number one things we need to do, and I think we need to get the same way we're going to get some lawyers in, we probably need to get some experts in. And I actually have someone potentially who could get to do credit repair. I think that is one of the biggest things we need, is to help people fix their credit, because
some of it is the way I see people telling people how to do it is wrong.
Yeah, some of that is a big issue, is the credit. So that's another piece that we have to do. And then I'm gonna have a dedicated area that's called Ari's Ranch, and that's where you get to see the video of me ranting and raving about, I want to buy a 100-unit building, but I have no money, no experience, but I want to buy a 100-unit building and take it down. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening. So I'm gonna record that rant of mine so people can play it back on a regular basis.
You need to
But
get
some
like an,
people don't,
you need to
some
get like
people
an,
need to hear it.
you need to
Some
get
people
like
need to hear it more than once because they
you
don't
need to
get
get
it the
like a,
first time.
you need to get like a cartoon avatar, like a giraffe or something yelling at people. Like Alf or, something like that, yelling at people. No, so a lot of stuff's going on, guys. I mean, like I said, it's been working on trying to get all these disclaimers and stuff done. Mainly because, Danny's gonna be hosting at Agents Gather. If I was doing LearnDash, I just go to LearnDash and sign up directly. So we're gonna be using the modules at LearnDash, but you're not gonna notice them. They're gonna be like, it's gonna be in Agents Gather the way Danny's already got his format. So if anybody still needs to connect and learn how to use it, let me know. I know I'm trying to get everybody connected. He'll do a call with you and tell you. He's asking people just in exchange, because the people that are using it are getting phenomenal resorts. I mean, I know Ginger was on it. A few other people have posted recently, and if you're on there, he's kind of willing to, he'll trade. He'll do some, stuff for you in exchange for you posting some content. It could be about a small, you're wherever you're at geographically. Sean, you could put Ohio real estate up there, and where you're at and what kind of, and just be the real, and that's good enough. Put the hashtags. He teaches you how to do it. Same with, Doris, you can be Pennsylvania, things like that, and you can.
Bringing around Agents Gather, I don't know how to make it make sense to me. I've tried. I've even posted. And
I know you posted, and it's going to be a little easier once. And I'm going to try to get Danny to come on because I know Bill's, he's on right now. He's the same way you and Bill are kind of alike on that area. So I want to try to make sure you guys are comfortable with it and what you can do there and how you can. It's a lot like, it's actually mostly like Facebook, only it just really gets out there with the hashtags and stuff.
You're assuming I like Facebook.
Well, I don't like, Facebook sucks for what we're doing. Yes, Facebook sucks for what we're doing. I can't do what I want to do on Facebook. I have a vision.
No, I get you.
And I go in and I'm like, people are like, you haven't really, I'm like, dude, I can't put 500 things in the files tab. People will be scrolling forever. Like I have.
I've been here forever, Nate, because I've been here forever, Nate, because I support your vision. I'm sure that when Bigger Pockets first started, there were people that were like, oh, I don't get it. Right. So no. I will write your.
No, I'm totally cool. I'm totally cool with that. Like I said.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah.
Nate, I've been really good for the last hour, but can you turn the recording off now?
All right. Yeah, probably.